Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So over the past couple of months, we've spent a good deal of time talking about the infamous Kotaku editor, Alyssa Mercante, and here is the latest update regarding her. She is officially leaving Kotaku. No, this is not clickbait, this is a real thing, something she has commented on her personal Twitter account, and we'll look at that as well as some of the reactions from her colleagues in the field, as well as look at some predictions as to where she's heading next, which might be actually pretty interesting. But let's start with her statement on her Twitter account posted about 24 hours ago with the very professional heading here that you would expect from her at this point saying, "Kiss my ass." And then followed by that, we have this screenshot of her statement reading as follows. Work news. After exactly 2 years, I've decided to leave Kotaku and my role as senior editor. I'm eternally grateful for Kotaku's editorial team and all that they taught me during my time there. They are some of the best in the business, and I will forever be proud to have shared a masthead with them. They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make Kotaku great and to hold on to their journalistic integrity in the face of increasing pressure to compromise that. It's been a long few months during which I've learned a lot about myself and my value as both a woman and a writer. This is the right decision for me. I have some things coming down the pike, so keep your eyes peeled. So we'll address that last part there, and we all know it's a joke talking about Kotaku and journalistic integrity and all of these things. But let's talk about what's going on here. So, as a result of this statement, a lot of people are making predictions as to whether she was fired or this was a mutual parting the ways or solely a decision on her behalf. Now, in regards to all this, I'm going to be extremely charitable with Alyssa in this video. I'm going to try to actually give the case that this was probably a mutual parting of the ways. Exactly 2 years kind of acknowledges maybe a time frame of her contract running out. And with everything that's happened over the past couple of years, I don't think it's too surprising to see Alyssa and Kotaku want to move on from each other. I mean, at this point, it's very clear that what she's doing there is just creating more and more toxicity, and it's not bringing in the intended audience of Kotaku. I mean, if you're a website that's supposed to be bringing gaming news and guides, you can have someone at the head here, one of your most largest contributors, constantly disparaging gamers and going beyond that and also disparaging people based on the color of their skin, their gender, what have you. But it seems like she does not like the field she is in. And how does that come across in articles? Well, not very well. And on top of that, Kotaku just isn't what it originally intended to be. It's not something that is existing for the love of gaming. It is something that is trying to farm hate clicks for ad revenue by hoping someone will click on their article to basically spit on it and leave. But in that little microsecond they're on the website, they're bombarded with 24 or 25 different ads so they can collect a few pennies. That's pretty much their marketing strategy. However, that doesn't really work anymore. People don't even hate click on these articles anymore because of people like Alyssa. They'd rather see someone cover her articles in a YouTube video. But anyways, when it comes to Kotaku's functionality, they have to rely on a bombardment of advertisements, and it's clear based on her behavior, they've probably had a lot of time and a lot of complaints about their advertisers, or people going to their advertisers and looking at Alyssa and saying, why are you supporting this? I mean, look at some of her infamous ordeals over the past couple of months. Her non-stop racism towards white people, judging people based on the color of their skin, also attacking men, attacking gamers, attacking people even based on their age. On top of that, openly fighting or offering to fight people physically if they disagree with her, which of course she backed out of all of those accepted challenges. But on top of that, she's also tried to make hit pieces on Asmongold, which as a result of her leaving Kotaku, I guess will never happen. But this is another example of her trying to bring a lot more negativity towards Kotaku and people just having absolutely zero goodwill towards the company generally. And on top of that, she's also been caught up in this potential lawsuit with Smash JT, where she is alleging for months, she's been alleging that she is filing a lawsuit against him for defamation and bullying her and all these things, which is totally hypocritical and also just baseless based on everything we know about the interaction between Smash JT and Alyssa, really just his fair use coverage of the crazy stuff she has said both on Twitter and in her articles. And we are seeing still, despite everything, people in the industry trying everything in their power to uplift Alyssa as she leaves Kotaku. You can see Carolyn Petit here saying, Kotaku won't be the same without Alyssa's fierce voice, an unyielding commitment to more diverse and inclusive games industry. I'll miss working with her so much. Yeah, if diversity does not include men, white people, old people, really just gamers in general as well. But yeah, it doesn't really surprise you that someone like this would support her. I mean, this is someone who excused her racism earlier this year. But on top of that, Alyssa has responded to some of the initial predictions or assumptions about her leaving Kotaku, where she says, this decision was made before the layoffs, but now I'm even more glad I made it. So there was actually a round of layoffs back in November of last year, but there was another round of layoffs just yesterday where it was reported that another big chunk of Kotaku's contributors have been laid off as a result of many different things. And of course, the people over at Kotaku are not taking it well. As you can see, there's been a full-fledged meltdown on Blue Sky by now several former employees of Kotaku, and someone pointed this out in the comment section the other day. We used to do the your likes are public bit on this channel. We got to do the your Blue Sky posts are public, because people over there just have no expectation that anyone's going to read what they're posting over there. But anyways, you can see this person, Moises Tavares, saying that they slept in and woke up to the news that they had been laid off from Kotaku. And then this Willow Rowe individual saying, hey, I was just laid off from Kotaku. I don't know what's next for me. And saying that they're figuring this stuff out, and please help me in the next round of whatever their career takes them to. But as pointed out by Craig here, these two individuals pretty much represent what a lot of people think is wrong with Kotaku, beginning with Willa, who is a queer games critic. So I guess that had some value to the company for some time. But also this Moises Tavares individual, literally their swan song, their final article as they left the company was this. And this is an obvious reaction to the election results in the United States. And clearly, Moises and a lot of people at Kotaku are very upset with the results. This is the article they wrote as they left. Play Wolfenstein if you're angry at the world right now. Hey, everything sucks right now. There's no getting around it. And we're going to have to live with the consequences of this shit for the rest of our lives. So if you're feeling angry about things like, say, the rise of fascism in America, why not grab Wolfenstein games and kill some Nazis? I need a break from all this. I need to entertain the notion that I have some power. Yeah, that's pretty pathetic. The rise of the salary of therapists and their potential client base is going to soar once again, just like it did back in 2016. But anyways, we would see more people from the industry, including former Kotaku contributors like Jen Glennon, quoting Alyssa's post, saying, one of the most talented, passionate, and fearless people I've ever had the privilege to work with. Nothing but respect for this absolute legend. Now, if you do remember, earlier this year, Jen Glennon resigned from her position after the management company that operates Kotaku basically instructed their contributors to stop making political pieces and instead focus on a certain number of game guides per week, where this person immediately resigned. And that sort of attitude is reflected by really what I think is Alyssa's approach to everything. So seeing people saying that she has been fired instead of leaving the company amicably, she says, bruh, I left. Can any of these grifters read? Which I always found very ironic for Alyssa to call anyone grifters, because I believe what she was doing at Kotaku was a grift for quite a while now. It's so obvious that when you hate gamers and you hate a good subsection of gamers, and your job is to cover gaming news and guides, you are grifting. You are only there because you want a paycheck. You don't actually care about what you're doing. And in fact, with Alyssa, I think she actually despised what she was doing, and it was showing. She was much more interested in covering political and social issues and things like that, and whining about things on Twitter than she was making game guides and doing things like that. And now it's a question of what is she going to do next? Well, we can see Hypnotic Live here making some predictions, pointing out the fact that she has been traveling around into Montreal in particular, where Sweet Baby Inc. is located. And you can see that from her account. She's reposting this post from Khalif Adams here, where they are looking at the headquarters of Compulsion Games. Now, that is, of course, a Sweet Baby Inc. client. And on top of that, you can see Alyssa responding saying, yes, we're seeing South of Midnight, which is one of their games, which is another DEI concern. But anyways, you can see that this is based in Montreal, where also Sweet Baby Inc. is located. So some people are estimating that she might be moving on to either Compulsion Games or possibly Sweet Baby. And honestly, it's not too far-fetched of an estimate. It seems like it's very clear to Alyssa that she's wanted to do something else for quite some time now. I don't think that's surprising whether you like her or not. I think she's wanted to do something more than writing game guides for Kotaku, whether it's doing something in the gaming industry more directly or consultation or something that seems to be better interest or something that suits her more than what she's doing, because she clearly doesn't like dealing with her job where it's focusing on covering game guides and things like that. It obviously is just beyond her at this point. So she is clearly going to move on to somewhere else, and she says she has something in the pike for everyone, and we'll have to see what that is. But these predictions, like I said, are somewhat fair to make at this point. But for now, that's what we know. That is the end of an era, 2 years at Kotaku for Alyssa Mercante, and her legacy is one of just toxicity and really people just clowning on her 24/7. But she's moving on to the next place, and when we do find out where she's moving on, you'll likely see that covered on this channel. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.